Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel, and today we're going to be going into Tool Talk episode 4, and today we're talking about sockets. So this is going to, be a video for all of those out there, whether you're a DIYer, weekend warrior, professional, anything like that. So we're going to be looking at all of my sockets that I have here at home. I have a 52-inch flat black toolbox that has always been for home use, and then I have my Matco box over there that was originally intended for going to work after I got out of college years ago. Well, my job that I got after college provided all of the tools that I needed, and so now that's just a secondary box where I keep some of the newer tools that I'm buying, and then some of the Matco stuff and like my impact sockets from Matco. All those have hardly ever been used, and even though I could probably get rid of them because I have almost everything I need here in this black toolbox, I can't get myself to get rid of them. Even though it's more than I need, it's always there just in case. That's basically a whole nother setup over there of tools that hardly ever get used. So this is my primary box here. We'll go through a good variety of all of my sockets, and I hope you guys enjoy. But there used to be a question that I got a lot years ago. If I'm a DIYer, do I need both chrome and impact? Can I just go impact? And there was pros and cons of doing that. Like pros, if you just buy an impact socket set, you can get one that covers basically all the sizes that you need, and an impact can be used as regular sockets, whereas chromes shouldn't be used as impact sockets. I've done it a lot. Let's just be honest. And then downside being, if you just have impact sockets, sometimes those are, especially if you're looking at saving money, you're probably not buying the most expensive impact socket set, so they're probably thicker walled where you can't get in certain access to areas and stuff. So that was a big issue, and so people looking to try and save money, and then maybe you don't have an impact, so obviously just chrome, and then debating on whether you should get 12-point or 6-point or both. Nowadays, there are so many different brands available, a wide array of quality available, not just brands. And so now you can get so much for so little. So if you're trying to save money, you can go ahead and get chrome and impact for a very little amount of money. If you don't think you're going to be using impact all that often, go to Harbor Freight, pick yourself up a small set. It's there if you need it. It's not very much money. Throw $20, there you go. It's not like back in the day where you had to at least spend $100 for a set that was actually worth even putting money down for. And now it's just ridiculous. Anywhere you go, everywhere you go, there's brands, varieties, quality. It ranges everywhere, and there's stuff available for everybody in a certain price range. You got stubby sockets, which are extremely shallow, low-profile sockets. You got shallow sockets. You got mid-length sockets. You got deep well sockets, 6-point, 12-point, spline drive. And then you have all the specialty, bit sockets. And we're not going to get into all of that. We're going to primarily just look at my chrome and impact sockets. And then I have some that are spline drive. I don't use all that often, hardly at all. But it's always nice to have if you're just a DIYer, weekend warrior. Most likely you can just get away with doing a 6-point unless you know specifically that your vehicle that you work on requires a 12-point socket somewhere along those lines. Then you can pick yourself up maybe a small 12-point socket set. Like I know my headers and my oil pan and everything, I went with a 12-point bolt because it has a smaller diameter head and it will be easier to access from different angles when working on the headers and oil pan and everything. So that's why I went that route on there. So I do have a small 1/4-inch 12-point socket set, things like that. But if you don't work on 12-point and you won't, then you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, if you're a professional, then you need a low variety of basically everything. And then you also have universal sockets that are really handy, more towards the professional. If you're trying to save some money as a DIYer, weekend warrior, then you can just use a universal joint with sockets, because universal sockets do tend to get a little bit more expensive. But if you do a decent amount of work, they can be very handy, especially for those extremely awkward situations. And then you don't have to worry about the socket coming off the universal and then the universal coming off your extension and all of that. You're reducing the amount of pieces that you're using, which can save time and save you from a huge headache. You'll just have a slightly less smaller headache dealing with those tough situations. So I mean, all around you're going to see a wide variety, just like wrenches, ratchets, all of that. You're going to see shallow, deep, metric, SAE, 6-point, 12-point, spline drive, mid-length, all of that. And it all depends on, you know, whether you're a DIYer, weekend warrior, professional mechanic. Like, how much work are you doing? How hard or aggressive is the work that you're doing? You don't always have to buy the most expensive. Sure, you don't have to buy the cheapest either. Like I've stated in my previous Tool Talk videos, I know plenty of professionals that use Harbor Freight tools in certain situations and are perfectly happy with it. I also know a lot of weekend warriors and DIYers that spend the money to get Snap-on, Matco, Mac, Cornwell, all of those, because they like how it feels. They are happy with those tools, even though they cost more money. If they have the money for them, that's what they go for. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to not spend a lot of money but get yourself a decent tool, I have quite a few brands where I try and stick in a certain range to get the best quality tool for the best price. So this is going to be good for all around everybody. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your guys' go-to brand for at home or at work. And if you guys enjoy, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts. And as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I have here at home. Not all weekend warriors and DIYers are the same. Some do a lot more work than the others. Some do a wide variety on multiple different vehicles, where some might just focus on a certain brand. So, you know, it's different for every person. So let me just know your guys' thoughts, and I really hope you guys enjoy. Here in my metric drawer, first off, we have the Capri stubby socket set, which is extremely shallow and works really well. I use this to access my steering box when I was removing the Pitman arm and idler arm and stuff. These work very well. This is the 3/8 drive set metric, and it comes in this little EVA foam tray. Holds up very well. I am really enjoying Capri tools. That's one of my go-to products lately. So here we have all 1/4 inch in the first 2 rows, then 3/8, and that's all chrome. Impact 3/8. Impact 3/8, impact 1/2 inch drive, which is completely worthless because that's actually a smaller set than my 3/8 drive. So it's completely pointless. I messed up when I bought that set. So over here I have both 6-point and 12-point and 1/4 inch. This is from Tecton. This is from DeWalt. So I am not gonna lie, I'm extremely pleased with the DeWalt sockets. I purchased the 192 piece socket set like 7 years ago, and I am 100% happy with those sockets. The deep wall sockets that come in there are actually more of a mid-length socket, so I actually prefer that. I like mid-length sockets because I don't always need that extra depth, and sometimes a deep wall socket can be too deep, or, you know, kind of obstruct you from getting to certain things. So that is nice. So like I said, DeWalt, Tecton for the 12-point, and then I have the Astro Pneumatic universal sockets. This is actually very affordable, so not too bad for DIYers. So if you're looking at possibly getting universal sockets, this is an affordable route to go. I want to say they're around $35 to $55 depending on when you buy it and which set you get. It's when you get into the impact version is when it can get very expensive, but then again, there are very cheap options out there as well. Just some random Allen bit sockets, universal joint. These are very common, obviously, and a lot cheaper if you don't want to buy something like the universal sockets. And then I have the Gear Wrench 3/8 version of the same thing. They start to get a little bit more expensive. I want to say it's like $120 for both the metric and SAE set. You got like flip sockets, not necessary really for at home, unless for some reason you're just changing a lot of tires. More for the professional field when it comes to flip sockets because you're constantly using them. And then I actually recently got the Capri Master 3/8 drive impact socket set, 6-point. It's got shallow, mid-length, and deep well. Great socket set. Haven't had it long, haven't been able to use it a lot. I've had them I don't know, I'd say 6 to 8 months. Been trying to use them as much as possible. Just anytime that I work on the Camaro, I've finished up the suspension, so I'm really just waiting on the rear end, and I will be using this set as much as possible. I've really enjoyed how the Capri tool impact sockets hold up. It also comes on a Westling USA made billet aluminum organizer, which is just fantastic. Then I have the gear wrench set here. This is the 10 millimeter 1/4 inch drive sockets and 3/8 drive sockets. And then moving back here, this is just a gear wrench 3/8 impact socket set, and then this is the gear wrench 1/2 inch drive impact socket set that I never use because my 3/8 drive covers more of the socket sizes than the actual 1/2 inch drive set does. And then I just have my 1/2 inch chrome back here. Truthfully, I don't use a whole lot of 1/2 inch chrome. I really don't. I primarily use 3/8, and then if I'm using 1/2 inch, it's going to be impact sockets. But even over that, I use my 3/8 impact sockets 95% of the time. Over here we have in the SA drawer the Ulsa tools. This is actually metric. I just couldn't fit it in my drawer at the time, so I still had to reorganize that. But this is the Ulsa tools. It comes in a nice little plastic blow molded case. It's actually really durable. It's kind of like the Snap-on or the Icon, you know, that style organizer. And they're actually really clean sockets. Goes from 6 millimeter all the way up to 20 millimeter. Haven't really been able to use these, especially with how many sockets I already have. We kind of have the same setup here. In this drawer, we have 6-point DeWalt, 12-point Tecton, some Torx and Allen bit sockets, DeWalt, Deepwell SAE, the gear wrench 3/8 drive universal sockets, some universal adapters, DeWalt shallow, and like I said, I've been very pleased with DeWalt. I would not be afraid to use them daily in the professional field. I've been very pleased with them. Now the SAE stuff I don't use nearly as often, not nearly as often as the metric. Just another gear wrench 3/8 drive impact socket set, and then my 1/2 inch drive SAE gear wrench socket set. This one is actually goes up to a little bit bigger size than my 3/8 drive set, so this one is actually useful. It's the metric set that I got that is basically useless to me. But so far the laser engraving hasn't been rubbed off or anything like that, but that tends to happen more on deep wells when you're working with like rims and things like that. That's, you know, anytime that laser etching can get put in contact with another object, that's really, you know, when it's going to rub off, obviously. So with the shallows, I don't necessarily run into that issue. And then once again, just some this is a miscellaneous different brands. I have some Craftsman back here. That's Craftsman. Different 12-point, 6-point sockets, another Craftsman socket. DeWalt. Just various different brands back there. And then over here, stuff that I really don't use except for these over here, which are the Impact Universal sockets from Matco. They're the Matco ADV. They are 12-point sockets. So there you can see that, Matco ADV. And this set ranges from 10 to 19, and then same thing with their 3/8 drive 12-point impact socket set. Works well. It's nice, handy to have if you're just a DIY or weekend warrior and you don't work on a whole lot of 12-point. You probably don't have to worry about this. I wasn't about to spend a lot of money on universal impact sockets in both 6-point and 12-point, so I just got the 12-point so you know they can be used on 6-point fasteners. Obviously, you're more likely to round it off, but as long as you're smart and not working with an extremely rusty fastener or anything like that, or worn out fastener, and using a 12-point, then you're just fine. I have some Harbor Freight, some of their colored sockets, 1/2 inch drive, 12-point. Don't really use those like ever. Like I said, I don't use a whole lot of 1/2 inch drive chrome at all. And then here's basically a new set of Matco 1/2 inch drive impact sockets going up to 36. A new Matco 6-point 3/8 drive socket set once again, the ADV lineup. Some 3/8 drive 12-point Pittsburgh sockets. I wanted to have 12-point sockets for some of those situations. I didn't want to be stranded without that. So when it came to that, I went cheap. And I went cheap because I'm hardly ever going to use them for what I do here. And so I would rather have them than not. But I'm not going to drop a lot of money to get those 12 points when I'm not going to use them all that often. And then here we're looking at some Silver Eagle, which are really nice, but once again, this is just kind of my overflow. So it's 3/8 and 1/4 inch in Silver Eagle. Same thing, got some more Pittsburgh 12-point here in 3/8, Silver Eagle in shallow and deep, 3/8, Pittsburgh 1/4 inch drive, 6-point socket set over here, right next to the Silver Eagle 6-point shallow and deep. So obviously I have a lot more than necessary between the two boxes. Like, this is literally all overflow. Over here, the only thing in this drawer that I really use are the ratchets, the oil drain plug sockets, and everything else that's not a socket in here. But I just can't get myself to get rid of them, because just in case in the future, if I do switch jobs, I do something else where I may possibly need these tools, and I would rather not take everything that I have for the house to work. But as of right now, my job provides me with all the tools that I need, so there's no need to do so. So once again, there's a look at my sockets and everything, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, it's all going to depend on the person, the type of work they do, how much work they do. And also another thing to always keep in mind is the warranty. The warranty is always important. Not does the tool have a warranty. Almost all tools have a lifetime warranty now. It's how easy is it to use that warranty, and will that warranty work for you in the time that you need it? Like, are you okay having a warranty that may take 3 weeks, or do you need one that you're going to need within a couple days? Or do you need a tool truck brand where you can have it, as soon as that guy comes? Things like that. It all depends on your situation, what you do, how hard you work, the jobs you do, and things like that. So that's a look at my sockets. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of your guys' thoughts. And as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. See you guys next time.